What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action in the Premier League. Matchday 31 up against Manchester City at Old Trafford. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow. Manager is, of course, Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola has been manager of Man City since July 2016, and I think earlier on the season he did announce that he was staying for another season, so that's bad news for us in general. He's won 6 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 4 EFL Cups, 3 FA Community Shields, 1 Champions League, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and 1 Club World Cup in his time at Manchester City. And what can be said about him? I think he's a really good manager, and I think we missed the boat with him. But anyway, in terms of Man City, we did beat them earlier on at the Etihad, 2-1, courtesy of goals from Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo. Late on, Bruno Fernandes scored a penalty in the 88th minute, and then Amad Diallo got the winner in the 90th minute. Almost in, I think it was in injury time to win the game 2-1, and Guardiola got the goal for Manchester City. So in terms of some insights for the match, let's take a look at them quick time. So Manchester United are looking to complete just their first Premier League double over Manchester City since the 2019-20 season, following the 2-1 win at the Etihad Stadium in December. Manchester City have won more Premier League away games against Manchester United than any other side, with 9. 5 of their 9 wins have come under Pep Guardiola, the most of any visiting manager in the competition. Manchester United haven't lost any of their last 3 meetings with Manchester City in all competitions, winning 2 and drawing 1, last having a longer run between January 2010 and February 2011 with 4. The away team has won 10 of the last 18 Premier League meetings between Manchester United and Manchester City, with drawing 2 and losing 6 since the 2015-16 campaign. The only Premier League fixture with more away wins is Crystal Palace versus Liverpool with 12, and Manchester United have gone 8 Premier League matches at Old Trafford without keeping a clean sheet, unfortunately, the longest run since a run of 12 between April and December 2021. They've shipped 17 in 9 games under Ruben Amorim, with the Portuguese coach having the worst goal conceded per game ratio of any permanent Red Devils manager on home soil in the Premier League with 1.89. So that's not a good start for United, but they're your insights for the match. In terms of some recent form for Manchester City, they are coming away with a 2-0 win against Leicester midweek. And before that, they did beat Bournemouth in the FA Cup quarter-finals as well. So they have booked a FA Cup semi-final tie against Nottingham Forest. Before that, they had a disappointing 2-2 draw against Brighton at home. Nottingham Forest did manage to beat Manchester City away from home. Manchester City they also beat Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup. They beat Tottenham. They lost to Liverpool at Anfield, and of course they got knocked out the Champions League by Real Madrid, losing 6-3 on aggregate. So in terms of how City are going to line up, first of all, they have got a couple of injuries. Obviously, Stones, Akanji, Ake, Rodri, and Haaland are all out, but that doesn't mean to say that they've got first team players out that it's going to be a breeze for United. They've got a squad packed with depth only to the despair of us United fans. I mean, the strength and depth that City have is unreal. I think their bench is going to be strong. You can see my predicted lineup for Man City. Obviously, Edison in net, Nunes, Diaz, Guardiola, O'Reilly. That's the back four that started against their previous match against Leicester City. That's their back four. Gonzalez and Gundogan making the double pivot in midfield. Foden, Grealish and Doku making up the front three in behind Mamouche. So Man City, obviously, I've not included David Silva in this. I've not included De Bruyne. I've not included a couple of other Man City players that that you would expect to be lining up. A Savinho as well, I'm not included in this. And so even though they've got a couple of players out, they are still going to be looking strong. for this tie or against Manchester United. In terms of how they play, of course, 4-2-3-1 formation. Pep Guardiola uses a 4 back in defence but a 3 back in attack, which means that one defender needs to push up as a winger or invert in the midfield during the build-up. This creates more options in the centre and less space between the players, and Pep likes this because he prioritises playing through the middle, so he needs one player higher and wide to pull apart the back line while the rest create numerical advantages in midfield areas. So in terms of the high build-up phase, Pep Guardiola, Man City, they set up in a 3-2-5 formation, the same as a low build-up without the goalkeeper between the centre-backs. So the two holding midfielders are rarely positioned in the same line. One will always be a little deeper, but who it is depends on where the ball is. A massive aspect of City's high possession build-up is they keep a high back line. This helps in the counter press because they get closer to the centre. Having more players close to the centre who can win the ball back makes it difficult for the opposition to recycle possession. So Man City, they often rotate during their build-up phase as well, creating new formations to confuse opponents. They also adapt to their opponents' formations as well to create numerical advantages in different areas, allowing them to beat the defence and score more goals. So their most frequent change is to push one of the centre-backs into midfield, creating a 2-3-4-1 formation, and their principles and guidelines stay the same when they do this as well. So in terms of the final third, obviously they like to attack the half space. They've got brilliant players, brilliant technical players that are really good at attacking the half space. They are excellent in the final third. They always create many chances, so that's going to be difficult for us to contain. Overlaps as well. They like to use the overlap to produce opportunities in the final third. When the winger gets the ball, a City player quickly makes the overlap, creating a 2v1 on the wing. Many players in the box as well, so they like to get attacking midfielders making runs into the box when the ball is in the final third, getting 4 or 5 players into these areas to create overloads. So in terms of defensively, Pep Guardiola's City side, they presses the opposition high when possible, and they do this in a 4-1-3-2 formation. In the low press, Pep Guardiola, his side, they use a 4-4-2 formation when they are in the low block or low press. And Man City, they look to squeeze the pitch when defending as well. This means constantly pushing the team as much as possible. Every time the opponent plays a low sideways pass or a back pass, the City's first line of pressure pushes up, with the rest of the team following to stay compact. So when the next pass comes, they push up even more, forcing the opponent back even more. They do this because it pushes the opponent further away from their own goal, making it harder for them to create chances. So in terms of, to summarize, obviously possession and control, they prioritize maintaining possession, passing triangles and movement, exploiting wide areas, inverted fullbacks as well, high pressing, tactical flexibility, direct play, ball playing defenders as well. So centre backs are often used to build from the back and help transition into attack quickly. So in terms of their star man, I'm going to have to say it's Mamouche. He's got 5 goals in 8 games in the Premier League so far. He's a natural finisher. He's lively, good instinct. He's dangerous in and around the box, and he can also play a pass as well. So I think he's been a decent signing for them. I personally wouldn't have minded if he had come to United, but he's a decent signing for them. In terms of United, our last match was against Nottingham Forest, which we did lose, unfortunately. We lost 1-0 to Forest away from home, which was a disappointing loss, especially because I felt like as if we played well, and I think we were unlucky not to be coming away with any points. And the least we deserved was a draw, but unfortunately we are coming away with no points against Forest. In terms of United's injuries, Bayindir, Evans, Martinez, Shaw, Mainu and Diallo are all out. Mount and Collier are back. Mount made a cameo against Forest. I think Collier came off the bench. I can't remember now. But yeah, in terms of United's lineup, this is who I've gone with. So Onana and Net, of course. Euro, Maguire, Mazraoui making up the back 3. Recently learnt that Matthias de Ligt is a doubt for the game, so I don't think that Ruben Amorim would be wise to risk him, especially since we've got a really important Europa League tie coming up, Europa League quarter-final tie coming up against Lyon away from home. So if de Ligt has a niggle or he has a knock, then it's best just to wrap him in cotton wool for that Europa League tie against Lyon. In terms of the 4 midfield, Dalot, Fernandes, Ugarte and Dogu making up the midfield 4. Obviously I've got Fernandes in a deeper double pivot position, simply because I think he's performed well in there, and I think we've not looked too good going forward when we have Casemiro and Ugarte in that double pivot. So I've got Fernandes and Ugarte there. Then front three, surprisingly, I've got Mount in there and Garnacho and Højlund up front, of course. A little bit about Mount. I thought he looked okay. Not when he came on against Nottingham Forest. I think he could play a decent part in this tie against Manchester City. I think he's got something to offer, but he just needs to stay fit. You know, I personally, if he can't stay fit, then I would be looking to sell him in the summer, but hopefully he can come good for us. In terms of United star man, I'm going to have to say it's Bruno Fernandes, of course. He creates the most chances for us, and we rely on him the most for chance creation and goal scoring as well. I think he is our top goal scorer in all comps this season as well. So how do you beat them? I think, you know, we're going to sit back and we're going to play on the counter-attack, similar to how we played against Arsenal at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago, where we drew 1-1 with them. I think exploit that high back line, pace, power, strength, unpredictability. I think using the three centre-backs to build up could be key. If we are confident enough to do that at Old Trafford, I think we should be, personally, because whenever we have played out from the back and we have looked decent, you know, when you've got the three centre-backs, you can recycle the ball more easily and it's easier to keep possession. Careful on the set pieces as well. Win the second balls in the box. Wing, because you know, not that Man City are too threatening from set pieces. It's just that we have looked poor from set pieces so far this season. So in terms of the wing backs, have to be better going forward. I think Dalot and Dogu are going to be key. I think they have to be good outlets. I think they are going to be in a lot of space as Man City are trying to press United high up the pitch. That's going to leave space for Dalot and Dogu to attack. So if Dalot and Dogu, you know, are on their game offensively, then I think they're going to be good attacking outlets for United to play out the Man City press and then go at Man City that way. So I think Dogu especially, I think Dalot has been a little bit poor going forward, and personally I would be looking you know, maybe to get a new right wing back or something. I don't think he's looked particularly amazing going forward, and in this three at the back system, your wing backs have to be really good going forward, and Dalot hasn't been that, in my opinion. Dogu, on the other hand, I have been impressed by him. I think he's been a decent signing so far for us. You know, so a decent signing in the January transfer window, and hopefully he can come good. Hopefully Dogu can get some space in behind on that left side that he can attack, because I think Man City are going to leave gaps in behind for us to exploit. Mount as well, a little bit about Mount, like I mentioned, I think he can perform. I think hopefully he steps up, and you know, this is his best kind of Mount's best kind of performances have actually come in this formation, and they've come in that inside 10 position. For Chelsea when they won the Champions League, Mount played a decent part for them in that. But personally, for me anyway, the jury is still out on Mount. I'm not sure if he has all the qualities to be a Manchester United first team player, and you know, I think it was a little bit of a mistake signing him when he had 1 year left on his deal until his deal expired at Chelsea. But yeah, in terms of my score prediction, I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm not sure if Man United are going to be coming away with the win here. Even though Man City have, you know, key first team players out, I think it's going to be difficult for us to pick up all 3 points. You know, even though we did again, you know, at the Etihad, but then, you know, we had Ahmad who was on fire, and now since Ahmad has been out, our season has basically stuttered and it's fallen apart. That's how much of an important player Ahmad has been for us. So yeah, in terms of my score prediction, I am going to predict a loss. Unfortunately, I'm going to go for a 2-0 loss. I think Mamouche is going to score, and I think Foden is going to score for Man City as well. So I'm going for a 2-0 United loss. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully Manchester United do come away with the win and pick up all 3 points. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch yous after the match.